Hey Royals, this is Mademoiselle Mosley again. I hope everybody is doing fine tonight. I want to have a conversation with you. I was thinking, where are all the mothers? And I'm not just talking about the title mother, the women who have birthed children. I am speaking of the mothering spirit, the spirit of the mother. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I physically lost my mother years back. And I haven't ran into a woman yet with that mothering spirit, that genuine love for an individual, period. Without the manipulation or the idea of that I'm older than you, so I know more than you. Um, so when I tell you something, this is what needs to be done and this is what you should do. I am speaking of just pure love. I ain't talking about no boss chick. I'm not talking about the women getting the bag. I'm not talking about all that. Not saying that they don't have the mothering spirit, but I'm just saying pure love, that you just love people because that's what's supposed to happen. When you run into people, love should be the first spirit that you operate in until they show you different, or if they don't want to accept it, you don't keep pouring in a cup that don't want what you got to pour. I thought about that. I thought about some people who've lost their mothers. Hopefully, you had a good relationship with your mother, because some people carry that trauma if they didn't have a good relationship with their mama or mother, whichever one you want to say, that they take it out on other women, and that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. If you feeling that way, it's because you have undealt with inner trauma. That IT that I always talk about, get it before it gets you. So let me get a little deeper on this thing, what I was thinking about. So, like I said before, I'm not just talking about people that birth children. I'm talking about the spirit of mothering, to show anyone the love that needs the love, that they can accept the love. Because a lot of people can't accept the love, because some people may not have been loved by their birth mothers. And we all know, just because you birth a child and you become a mother does not mean that you are operating in the mothering spirit. A lot of us women reject our children because the father is not acting appropriately, or you never wanted to get pregnant and now you're pregnant. Now you take it out on the child and the child come out looking just like his daddy, which he's supposed to, but you don't understand that's you. It don't matter what that child come out looking. That is you. That is your baby. That is your child. And that you will later on have a weakness for, but then later on, as they grow, you will develop a strength for. That means you will apply the proper pressure when needed. And when they playing you and gaming you and trying to get stuff out of you, because they are you as well as the daddy too. Let's get in this thing. Let's wrap it on up. So, like I said, I'm speaking of Mother Mary to show, loves anyone who want the love, and if they don't want the love, just let them go. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not just speaking of blood. When I speak of mothers, I'm not just talking about a mothering spirit because you birthed a child. Just a mothering spirit to be able to, how can I say, foster, your love to someone else that is outside of your womb that may need what it is that you have. And I'm gonna tell you something too. That a reason why I said earlier that just because a woman births a child does not make her a mother. I'm gonna tell you this too. What happens when you mix uh, dirt and water? It makes mud, because it's inevitable. When you take dirt and you mix it with water, it makes mud. But there is no love. See, sometimes you can have a child by a man or a child by a woman, and it makes a baby, but it don't mean it's love in between, because that's what was created. And sometimes that hold you in, it holds you to a point in life where it brings you a lot of struggle and strife. Like I say, dirt and water mix. But just because dirt and water mix and they make mud don't mean there is no love. That don't mean there's love there. Because you made a baby with me, I made a baby with you, or you made a baby with them and they made a baby with you, that don't mean love was present. It's the natural thing that happens when you mix water and dirt, you get mud. When you have sex with a man or a woman unprotected, we come together and you make a baby. But it does not mean love is in between those two people. There's a lot of things that go on when you come together with someone, the reason why they do what they do or act the way they do. You have to define that for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, when you mix things together, some may think because we have children together that it's love in between us, the reason why we got together. A lot of reasons why we got together wasn't no love, it was lust. We was doing that thing that we probably shouldn't have done, but anyway, we thought it was fun. Okay. So, like I was saying, is that some people, they bind you with them forcing you into a brood. You know what a brood is? A brood is like a brood is a word that is used to describe a negative look or a family dynamic. A brood. Think about it. Look it up. That'll be your homework. A brood. And in Matthew 3 and 7, it also defines, a brood. Like it talks about a brood of vipers. It calls brood animalistic. And there's some people families that operate animalistically. They don't operate in a humane manner. They operate animalistically. See, now, animals have their way of doing things, and so does humans. But there's supposed to be some knowledge and wisdom in the way to function when you are a human being outside of when you're an animal. Some families are broods. They operate in an animalistic way. They will prey on you. They will be predatorial to you if you don't know what it is that you're dealing with. And that's why sometimes when if you're a person of great wisdom and knowledge, and you run into someone that's a part of a family that operates as a brood, animalistic type of way, when you come into that family, they're not really going to be accepting of you, not because you're not a good person, more than likely because you are a good person, and the brother or the sister that you're with, they don't want them to get out of that animalistic aspect of life and knowing that they can enjoy and truly love someone and be with someone truthfully and honestly without being predatorial. So they don't want that sibling to be the curse breaker, to break that bloodline animalistic brood type predatorial aspect of living where everybody is prey to them, and when they prey on them they get everything that the person has, whether it's love, whether it's trust, whatever it is, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They do it all predatorily. It's not genuinely heartfelt love, because they're a brood, so they're acting animalistically. Not saying that animals don't have love for their pack or whatever they're part of, but we're humans. We're supposed to operate in a different manner than animals. We're supposed to have common sense, but we all know sense is not common. Let me finish this thing. So, for the people whom have a mothering spirit, we need to start loving people again. I think we all should love each other. That's the only thing that is truly missing right now in this world is genuine love. You know, we're so caught up in so many other things that are fleeting, that is not important, that will not be, what can I say, a positive deposit in people's lives. But you have to understand that there are some people who operate animalistically, and they don't want the person whom you might be loving to love you back and to break that generational curse and actually find love, because most of the family members or people don't want that person to find real love because they don't have it. They don't have it. You know, they treat their mate, excuse me, like a trained animal. They just do what they tell them to do, act how they're supposed to, just not even have any thoughts of your own self. Get up and go get in the shower. Get dressed. I'm hungry. Go make me something to eat. Why don't you sit down and be quiet? What is that? Commands? Roll over. Bark. That's not how you treat a person. That's how you treat a dog. A dog is something you command to do what it is that you want it to do because it's a dog. But so I want you to consider that, you know, considering two things that I spoke of that has different definitions and meanings, but they both have a lot to do with one to another. A mothering spirit, we're missing it. It's a lot of people whom don't have their mothers. And when I'm saying a mothering spirit, I'm not talking about babying nobody. That is not what I'm talking about. I am talking about loving people right where they're at. But the thing also, the person who is receiving the mothering spirit, you have to be honest and upright with people who are trying to foster the love for you that you don't have and that you may need, that you may never have gotten within your own family. And love languages, like I've spoken before, are different with each and every individual. So I hope that helped you all. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, Royal Rough Riders, get it before it gets you. I'm out.